Why did you do that?
Where's my keyboard?
Yeah, fucking spooky, isn't it? So
Fucking nostalgia critic. All right. I bought this like, I don't know, a year ago? Long time ago. Right before SVS and Rhythmic started like, hey, subwoofers, man. And I was like, oh, I want to build my own subwoofer. I want to build my own 15-inch Dayton. Sealed. Ultimax. It was cheap, under $300. Link if it's still available. I honestly didn't even check. I've been using it as a computer stand. Link in the description for that. If you want to see it literally unbuilt with my computer on top of it. So now there's a big hole there. And what was holding me back was literally buying glue. So I bought the best glue, the premium Tight Bond 2 power. Now, building a this is a sealed subwoofer, so there's no port to deal with. If you were to design your own subwoofer, you'd have to figure out the volume of air and all this other, the volume of air times the F max and all the different statistics that this driver, how far it moves and what kind of pressure it can create, etc., etc. So when you buy a set like this, a kit, then you're good. Now there's a cutout here. There's a space to show you where to cut out if you want to put a plate amp on the back of this. I'm not going to use a plate amp. Instead, I've got A500 Behringer there, and I'm going to switch it to bridge mono at some point. How does this come out? I'm confused. No, it twists. And this is just I'm gonna have this mounted to probably the back. Oh, keep in mind there's no finish. So when I'm done building this, probably not today, probably a couple days from now when I think the glue is dried, it's just gonna have this a hole this big, and then it's just gonna mount this. And this is a speak-on connector. And basically there's 4 posts here, and this weird looking plug, you open this up, you drop it on the floor, it breaks into pieces. It's exactly how it's supposed to work. What this is going to do is, since this is a dual voice coil, which means it has positive and negative terminals for 2 voice coils, I'm just going to end up running this. Either I'm going to set that up wired in series internally and then just run 600 watts into that, which I've done testing. I don't think running parallel, whatever. The point is, I'm gonna run 4 wires from that amp to this and then do my wiring internally. Close this. You can't tighten this all the way, by the way, or it will lock this in place and then you'll never get it apart ever again. Sounds like a gun's loading. And then this just goes, this is actually cool, because it goes in, it springs, and then it goes. I love speak-on connectors. Alright, box isn't that complicated. At least it shouldn't be. And I got a piece of foam here, so I don't care if the glue runs off. However, MDF does absorb like a sponge. And if the glue isn't wet, it won't. Which is, it's 50-50. Some people say water down your glue. Some people just say use lots of it. The way it works first is we're going to put the bracing in. And we're going to work fast. I want to try to get the boxes shaped together. And then we're going to use 3 of these. Do you know what these are? No? Good, because I bought 3 of them specifically for this job. This is a corner clamp. 1 corner, another corner, another corner, another corner. So all 4 corners will be, well, surrounded. And then once it's all shaped up, we're just going to tighten this down and go, and it's going to hold this way, and this way. And I'm probably going to be smart right now, which is a rare thing. I'm never smart ever. But we're going to be smart right now. And we're going to was this my test size one? Yeah, this is my one for test sizing it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I'm going to put these clamps in place so I don't end up building the box and have to lift it up to get these underneath it. So I need at least 2 like that. And I'll have to obviously get the corners under. I don't want to suspend it on the corners right now. There's 1. Keep in mind, I have not practiced this. This is my first subwoofer build. I've built a speaker before. My father and I spent like 2 years rebuilding the upstairs of my grandparents, and at some point we got bored of working on that and just decided to build speakers for a little while. And it was weird because we only built one speaker each with some old drivers from a 77 LeSabre. And so we didn't have a pair that matched. It was just, this is an interesting system, by the way. A rubber band did a wheelie thing. So we couldn't actually listen to a pair of speakers that we built. We could only listen to one speaker at a time. Or a pair of mismatched built speakers. Mine was awesome. It was awesome. Had some sort of weird 45 going. Thought I knew how speakers worked. It's adorable. Okay. We big enough? Let's check the size. So it fit your mom for her panties. Clamp on panties for your mom. Okay, so now we gotta go this way. By the way, doing this on a rolling thing is gonna be so good. Stretch. Keep in mind, we want to keep these things flat in the proper orientation. Okay. Sort more of that out later. This is just rough stuff. I know, you all want to see me play with glue. Wet paper towels are a good thing to have, by the way. Because we're going to end up putting the glue on, and then probably you could wear gloves and then finger it into where we need to go, but I'm just gonna do that wipe. The last one goes around the whole thing, so don't have to worry about it. Also, my new couch is being delivered today, which is why the old couch is waiting. So let's see. What do I got? 27 minutes before I gotta feed the meter. Because my car is outside. Hi, baby. You're allowed to sniff wood glue, right? That doesn't count as a bad thing. So the braces. Make sure you put this thing together without glue and then take it apart and put it together so you know how it goes. This is how this is gonna go. These are the internal braces. One goes here. One goes here. And you see they line up perfectly with the edges, which we're gonna make sure we got that. And then we're gonna slap sides on it. And then we're gonna slap top on it. And then this bit is the actual, oh God, no, not again. I already broke a key off that keyboard because I'm stupid yesterday. This is the final fascia piece that the actual Ultimax driver sits in. And this can go on last because it doesn't actually affect the structure of the box. This is just boom on top. And I may wrap this before applying it. So I'm basically gonna get the basic box down and worry about this later. Glue. All right. I could glue everything and then just start shoving things, but let's go at least in an order. You ever watch like Norm Macdonald or whoever builds things, build them? They're always just really fast because they've done it 100 million times. Shut up, phone. Oh God, it's so slippery. That's what she said. I'm giving it a push. It's squeezing out excess. Also, when this is done, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna beat all the seams. All right, let's see. How do I want to do this? Make the sound effects. You'll thank me later. This. This. And I talked to my woodworking friend, my Canadian. It doesn't have enough glue on it. See, this is where that finger is going to come in. Just rub the glue on the actual faces of the wood. And he's like, well, you're supposed to glue it together and then use a tack brad nailer, because the nails actually pull the wood together and cause the glue to hold better. But I don't own one. I don't own it like a brad nailer, and frankly I didn't want to buy one for just what is going to become one subwoofer. Make sure your edges line up. This is why we gotta do it fast, because I can't guarantee everything's gonna line up when we start getting ends on. Like, this is easy to slide back and forth. This is not. Even though I don't have to add this right now. Why not? So much drippy glue. All right, so now the 4 sides, there's a little outcrop here. That's for the top. And it shouldn't matter as long as we have the 2 of them that have the outcrop opposite, because this is a square. So let's do, again, everything on wheels is better. Now this is gonna make the big mess. I'm gonna squeeze it along the inside edge. Oh, more glue the better. Fuck it, we're gonna do all around all 4. Two. You can do this. You can almost not use too much glue, but it does happen. I'm just sort of pushing it around. Oh, Drop Dead Fred and Nostalgia Critic. I'm dripping on my fucking carpet. Again, do this in a workshop or your garage or your bathroom, someplace without carpeting on the floor. But actually, I could have done it in that room with the chair roller plastic. But what the fuck fun is that? All right, give us a wipe. You don't be handling your wood with just blatant amounts of glue. Goopy, goopy glue. We also have to do up the sides, now that I'm actually thinking about it, which means from the bottom up. I think that makes the most sense. So like I said, I'm not using brad nails at all. So this is going to be a just test of glue. As this thing starts pumping out hertz, all the kilohertz, or no, not kilohertz ever. As it pulls down, we go up. Wow, that's a lot of glue. I may have overglued. What did I say? You can't have too much glue? Again, keeping my hand over the workpiece now so that it drips and makes a goddamn mess. Just where I am. A little more there. That's good. Good, 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 good. That's a lot of glue. Use lots of glue. Okay. Rub the bottom of this too. Why not? How to Not Do This by Zeos Pantera. Now it should slide in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keeping in mind, we're just doing temporary holding stuff until we get those clamps around. You love that feeling when the glue is dried in your fucking hands and you just Remember, we need to do the opposites with the opening inside. Cat hair, which I've just tried to remove with glue covered hands, so guess what? Never getting that off ever. Now you can see it beat up when you give it a squeeze. Now we're just aligning it manually. I might wrap this in fabric. No one ever wraps their subwoofers in fabric. I think it's the way to go. Now, this bit slides in to this, where that cutout was, and lines up here. So we've got to rub the edges of this down or the inside lips of that. And I would get a clamp for this just to hold it. but I won't. All right, let's see. We'll try to do a lighter bead than last time. 1, whoop, 2, because we're gonna again massage this with our hands. 3, 4. Okay. If you're gonna push the runoff to the inside, and then you could actually cover this. Oh yeah, so much glue. I'm sure in Japan this is a fetish, something to do with wood glue. And now I gotta do my other hand because, well, it just doesn't make physical sense. The edge has some. It won't matter in my case. If you're finishing this with paint, like you plan on like actually sanding and finishing this, you want to avoid getting the wood on the outside of the box. But since I'm going to take the, and I don't know if it's an easy way out going with fabric, but if I'm going to take the fabric way out, how is that? That's still wet? Yeah, that's perfect. I'm going to run to the sink real quick. Because I just have to. My OCD is kicking in and my glue is drying. Okay. Now these should be perfect squares and not matter in height. Yeah. One. And when I say should be perfect squares, that's literally a guess. I just know I've put this together before. No, that's too low. Son of a bitch, this is not a perfect square. Okay, just got lucky on that one. We're gonna feel around. Okay, good, 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 good. The non-beveled holy top. This doesn't matter front or back. We just have to cover the top of this with glue. More glue. Drink the glue. Just start drinking the glue. Any minor misalignments of the walls will be fixed when the clamps go on. Now this is definitely rectangular in nature. And everything's sliding against itself because it's all basically just lubricated at this point. Where'd that new paper towel go? There you go. Now, I'm gonna wipe it. Although when we do the clamp in about 22 seconds, we're gonna have to wipe it constantly. It's a plastic table, it'll all come off that. Which one's first? This one's first, I think. All right. So how we're gonna do this? We're gonna do this. And I'm obviously not worried about getting glue on one of these clamps, or all of these clamps for that matter. I've got this cool release system. All right, 1, 2, so that's a corner. That's a corner. This started falling apart. That's a corner. I basically have to slide the thing under there, and then I gotta do the thing that I said I didn't want to do, where I lift it up. Oh, why is it stuck? Why are you stuck? My back hurts. All right. We're gonna slide. Yeah, you're fine. Off. Hold just the bottom. Don't lean against the thing and pull. That'll be hysterically bad. I'm sure there's a fudge. I mean, fuck nutter. There we go. I'm just trying to get it so that this lines up here like it now does. And now you can pull either one of these. That way and that way. So we got one. Getting all four under this at the same time would probably be beneficial. Slack. There's two. 1, 2. Now we got to slide the whole thing. Fronts of these shoes are slippery. Weirds me out. So come back over. Come to me. Wow, this fucking box is heavy. Oh, I gotta lift the end up. She's not gonna be suspended by that. The bottom is solid, so it should be all right to lean off a little bit like that. Come on. Come on. You're not there yet. Attached. Pull. Are we tight here? All right, we're lining it up. 1, 2. If there's a little glue leaking out here, that doesn't matter at this point. We're up on the table on this side. Let's get the whole thing back over. Over. And then you could pull it. And then you actually do this to clamp, clamp, clamp. Now we're not going to do too much because we've got to do the other side, which will be easier now if we didn't run over the clamp, because this will just slide right under here. 1. Crap, I got to go over the other clamp. So where am I? 1, 2, 3. The other edge here. And that one's already doing it. Big puddle of glue. Now keep in mind, we are trying to work moderately fast, but it's not like the end of days. I mean, it ain't epoxy, but it's not crazy glue either. All right, how we go up? See, now the whole thing will adjust, so it's just sliding around, and then we can pull tight, and then twist. Now, what I didn't think of as I am tightening this down is I need to go around with the final one, which means passing. Actually, this clamp's so strong, it's not going to make a difference. So here we go. I had to buy 3 of these just for this, but it beats having like 19 long ass clamps that people are just wrestling with. I'm gonna make it around. What are the odds of this? Try to keep it in some sort of alignment. Oh yeah. Oh, tell me that doesn't get you hot. Tighten. Oh yeah. So now those are in line, mostly. Pull some of that. And it doesn't matter if it's, because they're all, oh yeah. Now I could lower this down. You can see how it works here. Give this a real pull. Which I think I'm gonna do that to all of them. Pull as you loosen until you get it. You want it basically tight before you crank this down. so that you could really give it a fucking beating. Pull. Pull. You should be able to pull just one of these because the belt should flow like the spice. All right. Now is when we're gonna have to go and get a little baby hammer. Baby hammer. Who's got a baby hammer? That is not a hammer. Did I take the baby hammer out? No. Come here, light duty hammer. And what we're gonna do is basically convince these corners to line up. Feel them. Okay. That's good. That's not good. That's actually too far in. Cool. Now don't damage it too bad. What I should have is another piece of little baby wood. Oh, there we go. That's good. Inside I could beat the crap out of it. Down is good. Now keep in mind I'm floating on 4 things, so it's not, don't push down too hard, you'll dent whatever you're on top of. That's good. That's good. Rub that glue. Sandpaper will take care of that anyway. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. Crank to maximum potential. And then we'll check it again. How tight do you want it, baby? I'm sure you could use these in some sort of sexual act. I just haven't thought of it yet. Or maybe I have and I'm just keeping it for myself. Those are tight. Tight, tight, tight. Okay. Just make sure you're not going to bend the wood. It's MDF. It doesn't give a shit. Now we're just feeling. Final feelings. You're going to have a slight, just a slight, you know. If it's a millimeter, I say ignore it. It's more than a millimeter, don't ignore it. Now's the time, if you've got thumbs, just wipe the glue. Also, you could go into the cracks here and apply glue if you felt like it. Or, if you felt like it, go inside of here, where you can see there's a lot of glue there now, and just do the seams. You could pick this thing up. Oh, it's so heavy. How long did that take? I don't even know. So, like I said, this is just basically a cap that goes on top of it all. And then you glue this to the thing, and then you just put your screws through. This already has all the thing, all the seals and everything. By the way, this is same size as the Rhythmic, but not. This is a monster. Can't wait to hear it. Clean up. And I'm gonna probably leave this for like 2 days. I'm sure you could go faster than that, but shit, I ain't got nothing to do for 2 days. Make sure this is closed before you start rinsing it off. And a very thin glue next time. All the paper towels get used. Fuck trees. I'm trying to keep this from getting completely ruined. This foam. A wet paper towel takes care of that nicely. Ugh. If it's leaking out from all points, that's good. That means you got the right amount of glue in there. If you don't see any glue leaking out, like on any of them, you probably need to add more glue. All right, we'll continue this later. Hako. Now, here's the connector. Here's the box. And I don't have this piece on yet. I was just checking it for fitment. Glued. Left for 4 days. I was out of town. I just left it with those clamps on it. And now it's, you know, heavy and complete. I had a sanding block. Took my little drywall sanding block. Just went over the edges where the glue was sticking out. I might take my orbital over it again. Just to get it all nice and clean. So now that box is complete, the next task is actually getting the driver in that. Well, actually, no, the driver has to go in this. And actually, what's going to probably happen is I'm going to take a break after this part of the video and not continue it for a week or two because I don't have a place to put my gaming PC, and this is going to be its table. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be its table. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to take the female end of the Nutrix, of the speak-on connector, and this has to mount to the box somewhere. Now, the problem is somewhere, because it's not like I'm putting on a back plate amp, because I'm not. Ugh. I got to figure orientation too, up, down, left, right. I think this is going to be the top or the bottom. I'm looking at the structural pieces in here. I think it's going to be stronger, like if that's top. And I should just get a marker and write top on that because I'm going to wrap this in something. But now, where do I put this? I could put it in the front. It would be totally different. And just feed power into it right where the driver is. And that would... See, what's more convenient for me? I can't put it on the bottom unless I'm going to put massive legs in it. Ideally, I want to put it in the back. So let's turn this over. Actually, where's my magic marker or a pencil? Pencil will work. Was it Halloween? It was Halloween. Come with me. Mechanical pencil. New couch. All right, so let's... Top. Cat. I mean, I'm not going to put this dead in the middle. That's dumb. I could put it as far into the corner as possible. And I took my caliper out and measured it. And a 1-inch hole will do it. And here's my Forstner set. Here's my 1-inch Forstner bit. And that's going to just perfectly drop into that hole. Now, because the unit's not finished, like doesn't have a finish on it or wrap, I'm going to drill that hole. I'll temp mount this. I'll drill the holes for this. I'm going to have to also seal it because you can see through it, which means that air will escape. So once I get this set up, which I'm doing right now, do I even need my soldering iron? No, I don't actually need my soldering iron. I'll do my 2000X repair with it. So what this has is little screw terminals, which means I need one of these, one of those. And I cut it, some of my, this is my 412. It's what I built Z wires out of. So it's 4 conductor of 12 gauge. And the way it's going to wire internally is the driver has 2 terminals, and they will be shared white and green, red and black. And the connector has 4 terminals. So everything's going to get wired. So internally it'll be any way I want to wire it externally. If I want to do, you know, parallel or series, it'll all be done at the end and not internally. So let's do this. So I'm leaving it longer than the boxes, so that I could attach to the driver and then lower it in without any problems. I hate it when you like take a driver out and it goes that far and it's like, fuck. You gotta start disconnecting things. All right, move that. What are we looking at here? I'm gonna use a flathead because I like flatheads better. So that's just what? Pressure? Yeah, it's just gonna squeeze. I might honestly want to tin the ends of this. Screw it, we'll tin the ends. Don't lose these screws, by the way. Now there's labeling on here that says +1, -1, +2, -2. So obviously I know what I'm doing. When I have a 4 conductor like this with the 4 colors, red and black are always a pair, and they're always the primary pair or the right side. And then these are the left side or secondary pair, and it's white is hot and green is ground, and red is hot and black is ground. So alright, we will strip and tin. Now how far can I strip this is the question. These don't look much deeper than that, so that's about it. Are they in line? Are they level? Are they straight? That's annoying. They're pretty close. Give it a prettier end. Don't forget to drop all these little pieces of copper on the carpet, so when you walk around in socks, you just cut your feet up all day. So I'm going to choose the 12 gauge. We're going to cut here. I'm sure I'll find that piece later. Let's try much more gentle. Let's see if the 10 gauge does it as well. Yeah, the 10 gauge does it as well. So we'll use the 10 gauge. Now, the way I tin wires is you just touch them to, and these are big, so we're just going to touch them a little bit to that. Make sure that's got some shit in it. You could do this. Make sure that's not too big. It's perfect. How deep would we go there? Pretty deep, actually. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. It's moderately annoying. So what the rosin does is it helps the solder to adhere. So we're going to melt the rosin a bit by heating up the end. Then we're going to just start feeding it in actual solder. And once you have enough, it will cover the whole thing. Again, cancer smoke is cancerous. And you can tell when you're doing this when the wires in your hand down at the bottom start heating up. So this is getting a little bit, when the thicker the wire, the better it carries the heat. Oh yeah, we're getting some, I'm gonna have a suntan on my thumb there. Just get it nice and even. That's warm. That is moderately warm. Now I'm just gonna be able to drop this wire through the hole I drill and then put this down and go zoop zoop and be done with it. So let's see, negatives. -1 is gonna be black. I don't wanna have to twist this because these are pretty heavy. So I wanna get the orientation right first. The speak-on connector is this way. By the way, Liechtenstein. If you've never heard of Liechtenstein, well, I have. So let's see, one negative is there, one positive is there. Should rotate the wire. Yeah. One at a time. You have to get it to give a little bit of bite, because we're going to probably go around and adjust it once we have all 4 in place. Right now I'm just fighting with them. Come on. There we go. Do I need to use 12 gauge? Not particularly. The shorter the run, the smaller the gauge you can use, you're allowed to use. That's hot for number 2. But I have 12 gauge, so why wouldn't I? The little door there is too far down. Seriously, Brady? There we go. That one's gonna be a pain. I just want to get that holding. Figure out what's the most relaxed orientation for this. Boom. Now we could go back, unscrew, straighten, extend, press. Don't stab yourself in the hand either. Okay, that one's in. 2, 3. Okay. So now when I do this end, this is going to be the lead that comes from the A500. It's got this thing to clamp onto the wire, which it'll work fine. And then it's also got 4 screw terminals, all labeled 1 minus, 2 plus, 2 minus, 1 plus. So I'm just going to unscrew, screw, attach this all together. I didn't need my soldering iron at all, really. And it's just going to go, and that's it. You've now made 4 connections. I wish all speakers used this. I mean, you could do dual voice, you could do bi-wire, bi-amp speakers with a connector like this. But of course, this is more for pro audio, which is why I bought one, because it'll last forever. Unplugging and plugging and unplugging and plugging and unplugging and plugging. So, shut you off for now. Deal with the remnants of remnant. Oh god. Keep in mind, copper does not respond to magnets, so if you drop this shit, let's do this over the table. You drop it, it's on your floor forever. Use some lettuce. Always use lettuce. It's clean lettuce, just to wipe off all the copper. Top tip. All right. There's the top. If I put it in the corner, then I don't have to measure, because I'm just sort of boom. If I want to put it in the dead center, then I got to be obsessive and measure to the dead center. I think it's going to go in the corner, because this is going to pretty much be the vagabond sub that moves around from my bedroom to the review room to the living room just for testing purposes. Where do I want the plug to be? I'm feeling this side. I'm feeling right here. And as long as I don't catch the wall, which is 3/4 of an inch, so that'll be the farthest. Let's go in and up, because I don't want to be against the ground. So it's like right there. And I'm making a mess, and it's going to be fine. That's a fucking disaster. Let me vacuum this. Be right back. Thank you, vacuum. Now, here's our beautiful hole. There's our beautiful hole. Cut this down shorter. You can always cut things down shorter. You don't want to extend them longer. So just give it what you think it needs. Boom. Boom. And it's going to look like that when we're done. Now, the only company that makes our anime legwear on a playback loop. The only company that makes subwoofers that have the amplifiers completely separate, which there's a benefit to. See here's my rhythmic. Hi, baby. And you couldn't really do it with the rhythmic because the rhythmic has a servo sub, and it's got to have multiple wires and sensors. But a normal subwoofer, there's no reason you can't just have the driver and then a long power cable, well, speaker cable. and then the amp somewhere else. But they all sell them as complete units. And HTD, Home Theater Direct, is the only one that sells just a box with a driver and then a plug, and then you run the, you know, this is what I could put, if I wanted to put my home theater sub in that corner, I gotta have power and signal all the way over there, and there's my receiver. So the benefit of having just, you know, a speaker connector is I can buy speaker wire, the amplifier's there, the receiver's there, the amplifier's there, I could just run speaker wire in 50-foot lengths anywhere the hell I want. I don't need a power supply, I don't need a power outlet, I don't need a signal wire that's going to connect interference. It's just there, and I can control all the bass and all the settings, all the crossover and everything from the unit. And I don't know why they don't, more don't do that. More should do that. It's a good system. But there you go. That's plenty of space. I could probably cut it down even like, well, if I want to have the driver wired and then I want to lift it back in, that's probably looking like where I want to keep it. Okay, so can I lay this on its face now? Again. Ugh. Top is there. I get my finish screws, tap this in here. Now, the only reason I can't get this subwoofer to like be completed is because I haven't mounted this. If I mount this, then I could just screw the driver in and fill it with stuffing. It needs stuffing, although I may just use one of those pillows because I'm done with those. And it's literally done. It's literally, you've completed a subwoofer. But I want to finish this with fabric. I want to do something a little bit different than just like spray painting it or, you know, anything else. I want to get thin foam, you know, 1/4 inch, maybe, yeah, probably 1/4 inch foam. Cut them out just almost to the edge, and then wrap it in like denim. Denim would be great. Chewbacca would love me to put him like a denim subwoofer to scratch the shit out of, which now I was thinking about it, that's a bad idea. But once I wrap it, I could put a panel over the back, that's just a cover, and then I could put this over the edges to cover it up. So I don't have to do a lot of work. And then I could just finish this separately, either by painting this, or I actually have carbon fiber 3M wrap, which, you know, if I want to be super ghetto gangster about it, wouldn't look terrible. But I think a nice contrast. That's like a dark fabric, and that's like bright red or something. That would be a clown subwoofer. Whatever. We're at this point now in this build, and it's time to move on. All right, back on the case. Before I don't get back on the case, screwed the thing in the back. This is all attached now. Used 2 little silver screws that I had, and I wasn't gonna do anything with the driver, and I was like, but if I don't attach this in any other way than just placing it here, what I can do is take the actual driver, the finished final position driver. If I put it down on here, these 2 pieces will be screwed together with 8 screws right here around the face, which is enough to make sure there's no gap between them and to seal them pretty goddamn solid, as long as this is straight when I pre-drill and tap in. Now, I was gonna go look for other screws, but I do have these deck mates. If you don't know what deck mates are, they're designed for outdoor use. They're heavy coated and they use a star tip, and they're heavy. These are like these, you build decks out of them. They're not the best color. They actually match the MDF pretty well. They're 2-inch, and when I drop one of these in here, you see I get, because it has a non-threaded bit at the top, which I thought was going to affect it, but there's so much padding under here because it has a seal built in that I've only got about 1/4 inch of not, I got like that much of non-thread. And then if I look, that's about perfect. I could have it stop before that, but having it be a little extra long is not a problem. So I think what I'm going to do right now is wire it up, drop it in place, obsessively twist everything so that the screw holes line up, and then the bait, and then I'm going to pre-drill 1, 2, 3, 8 holes, and then screw it down. And if I throw some stuffing in there, then I could actually test with this. Well, that'll be a separate video. There won't be a review of it attached anywhere near November the 1st, which is now. And just, I usually don't put dates in my video because I don't want you to know how long, but this has been months, so what the hell's the difference at this point? My word. Chewbacca, your review's coming too. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to pull this out. Take this. How are these terminals? Are they just... Yeah, these are just standard spring clips. So I don't want to tin the ends of these because the spring clip's got to crush, and if they could flatten out from the individual strands, that's even better. I can also make these as long as I need. Try not to drop anything that you're using in the subwoofer. See, 10 worked on the other side, but it doesn't work here. As I just say that. Oh, fuck. Everything's falling on the ground. Everything I said don't do is happening. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Take off grab. So now we've got now it doesn't matter. I should get the cardboard so I can turn this on its face. Doesn't matter which voice coil I attach to. There is no hot or ground or left or right. Alright, vacuum. Thank you, vacuum. Oh. These impromptu videos are amazing, aren't they? Especially when they make it on the big channel. So here we go. That's how heavy the magnet is. It's doing the hammer trick. So, like I said, here are 2 pairs. You got black and red. Now, how do I wire in and out? I could wire in and out. Or out and in. Out and in being this, in and out being that. That's just much harder to do from an odd angle. Oh, man, these spring clips are strong. I'll do black first. Make sure all your threads are in line. A true obsessive would only strip the one he's installing. I don't like true obsessives. They bother me. Wow, those spring clips are so fucking hard. I can't get them all in here. That's weird. We'll give it a twist. I don't like giving it a twist. You just put a lot of finger oils on things. I hope this is recording. Yes. So there, those are in there. Those springs in there are ridiculous. Let's rotate. Oh, Jesus Christ. By the way, this subwoofer is going to weigh about 90 pounds when all is said and done. Because that's what the shipping weight on the box was. 2 boxes. Yes, yes, yes. We're constantly searching for long range comms. There's 1. 2. Nah, I didn't have to put it up through the bottom of that. So now I'm going to drop this in here, and I want to drop it pretty straight, because rotating it's going to be oh God. Ow. That is dropped now. And now, so it's still floating, it's not actually attached. But once I pre-drill the holes here, that's going to be the end of it. I should have put stuffing in there. Chewbacca. Put some Chewbacca in there. All right. These videos are 10 hours long already. What the hell's a little longer? I have a Bosch kit, and I bought this Craftsman kit that has 1/4 inches on the end, so I could use it with my baby impact. I don't stuff it. I can't test with it. I'm also got to adjust. I don't want that to be off, and the light's sort of screwing with me. Yes, there you go. I'd have to measure from the edge to the hole. Should be all the same. Burb. 169 millimeters. That's right, I'm using millimeters because fuck you, sometimes the metric system helps. So lined it up to the edge, to that hole, and when it was off, I lifted this bit, stuck my fingers under to lift the driver up and slowly rotate it. Ow, is all I have to say. That's how you have to do it. There's no other way around it. So now I'm going to pre-drill my holes, which means I'm going to line this up from the edges. Now, for some reason, this fascia is it is officially ridiculously. It's a cunt's hair. So, like I say, as my father taught me that it's like a cunt's hair off. Like, what does that mean? When I'm 5, I didn't know what that meant. Now I know what that means. But yeah, it's just slightly bigger in all dimensions than the box that's built. And right now, it's perfect. So I don't want to touch it. Luckily, this is heavy enough; it's not going to shift around. So here's our screw that we're using. And the reason we pre-drill is so that it doesn't have to move that much material out of the way. And if it has to move material out of the way, then it crushes it and things bend and warp and you get bubbling. So you want to remove some of that material, but you want these actual threads to dig in fully. So that shaft in the middle, we need to get something that's just about smaller than that. And here's my little set. You have to sort of judge it by eye. You'd rather drill too small a hole than too big a hole. Let's put it that way. All right? Because if you drill too big a hole, your subwoofer just falls out at some point. This one's covered in white, which means it's probably been used for chipboard, which means it's probably dull as hell. So we're not going to use that. We're going to use a size smaller. Now this has... I don't need any... Now the holes in this are off center with the rubber gasket here, which is just because China. I'm sure it's Chinese. So I'm just going to center it right to where I see the actual metal. And you got to pull it out a bit. All right, I'm going to do the opposite holes. Try not to bang your drill into the surround of the driver. Remember that vacuum I yelled at? Come back here, vacuum I yelled at. Alright, now I'm going to put I need the bit. I need the bit. I need the bit for the deck mates. There it is. Big magnet to hold all your bits. Magnets solve all the things. I have a beautiful audience here too. And I've done 2, and I'm going to drill 2 to hold it all perfect, and then we can move on. Not all the way. I'm going to make sure nothing moves while you're getting them down. That's one. Don't do too much. This is wood. You're drilling into wood. So wood can, especially this wood, could just strip for fun. Now check the outside. Nothing's moved. It's perfect. That's now in place. We continue to drill. So now, once these are down and done, putting one here, if it's slightly off center, won't pull the driver in any sort of orientation we don't want. Gotta go down. I'm finding halfway that my drill bit's getting choked. Pull up, it shits it all out, and then finish the hole. We're gonna do that for the rest of them. Halfway up, finish, up. Halfway up. God bless thick surrounds. We just like, blah. Up. Yeah, whoever put this top gasket here, put it on like a jackass. I mean, I'm like at the edge of that hole and I'm in the center of the actual metal. You can see it right. I don't know if you can actually see it. Vacuum. I like Deckmates. My father built an entire edition with no nails, just Deckmates, and you could take the whole wall apart and it goes right back together because Deckmates. Now, I gotta put the stuffing in there because now it's ready to be tested. It's ready to, like, as soon as I put stuffing in there and build the wire, it can be tested. And if I gotta undo 8 screws, it's gonna suck. But if I only gotta do 2, then I can live with it. Okay. Toilet paper there. By the way, if you have like a workshop, do this there. So now I should still be able to do this. And that's why you leave a long wire. I could have left. I could have left the screws slightly in. I just gotta make sure my orientation doesn't get fucked up. But I put that pencil down. Come on, class, weren't you paying attention? All right, magic marker it is. We can go with the PlayStation methodology of like triangle, triangle. Yeah, okay, good. So now, the design for this, when you buy it, it says you need to have 3 pounds of stuffing. And I bought a 10-pound box of stuffing and I haven't been able to use it yet. But now I've decided to get rid of these pillows. And guess what they're filled with? Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh, can I get this through there without this unfold? I mean, look at this. This is perfect. This is literally acoustic stuffing. I want to keep it in a sheet. This is the brainstorming on video dilemma. Rip it in half, like the Hulk. He ripped in half a pillow once, I think. Okay. Don't do this with fiberglass. You will regret it. I'm gonna get this under this side. And what this does is it slows the travel of the air. That's how subwoofers work. Subwoofers are just, I was going to say air travel, but it's that compressing things, or if it's got a port, it makes the air go shoot out the back. So if you could slow that air down, just minutely. This is fun, actually. Now these are definitely not this is not 3 pounds with one of them, so I think I'm gonna have to do both. Okay, up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover all the walls. I don't want it to have any echoey sound. So there. Where's my other pillow? Good. See, now it's not like I'm throwing these out and it's a waste. I'm just sleeping on top of these for, you know, months. I'll give you something to look at while I do this. Go to any subreddit you like with pictures. Go and change the URL from reddit.com/whatever to redditp.com, and it'll just do a picture slideshow with settings and options. It's great. This is a safe for work one, so we're good on camera with this, right? Good. I ripped it in half this way, didn't I? Let's try something different. And I'm in the sunlight, so if there was like dust shooting off, I'd see it. Like fiberglass would have that. This isn't doing it, so that's good. Yeah. Step 5. Fill subwoofer with old pillows. Now we just have to be cautious that we don't put this in a way that the actual physical moving bits of the driver are going to get affected, or that it catches the wire and forces it up anywhere. It's annoying now. Chewbacca, you want to lay in this? You want to make this the Chewbacca house? Yeah. Hyacinth house? Some doors going on. So here we go. All the way up to the front. Is it 3 pounds? I don't know. It's 2 pillows worth. He's nice. He's very nice. He's very nice. So, push this away. The cage should keep most of this at bay. My only concern now is this wire laying down flat somewhere. Line up our holes so we don't have to twist the driver once we get it in place. Oh, where are our holes? Give them a wipe with the fingers. Alright. You son of a bitch, I can't see you. There we go. I just need one. Perfect. Oh. Magnets pushing those down. Vacuum again. Choke on that. God bless carbon fiber. Don't give a shit. Now I have to realign this by hand. Although once I get it close, once I drive a screw down, it should center. Which were the ones I started with? Here and here? Yeah, I could feel it. You can feel the screws already made tracks into that. Now why do I have an extension? Because it's just easier. It's just easier. Perfect. Perfect. And now I can put it together and be like, all right, I'm glad I did that and not wasted time. And I got to use my garbage pillows. They were filled with literally poly stuff, which is what you're probably going to end up buying. Don't buy stuff labeled for speaker building, because it's the same shit they put in pillows and when you make a doll. So you go to like a crafts place. Yeah, I want to make some dolls. Here's some poly stuff. You know, big pet teddy bears and shit. Same shit they put in speakers. So don't pay the extra coin. I'm not going down all the way yet. Don't pay the extra coin just because it says for speakers or acoustic or subwoofer, because they know they could rape you. Perfect. Nothing's shifted. All right. Just like a tire on a car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the ones I put in first. IKEA stopped selling these and I'm super pissed. They were a lac with wheels in a box. It was great. I have 4 of them. One under the deep fryer, one under the sous vide, and I had 2 in the living room. I'm like, I need more than 2. Went to go to the third. They just stopped selling them. Pisses me off. This is upside down because here's our thing. Fuck! Okay, yeah, no. This needs furniture movers under it. ASAP. In fact. For some reason I have 3 of these long ones. Obviously 2 under the driver's side because it's the heavier part. Oh, don't crush my hands, don't crush my hands. 2, and then 1 this way under the back. Okay. They actually do work, those things. See where the glue is just sort of up? Subwoofer. Now, cores with the door open. Oh God, your door is open. He's gonna lose. Maybe he's just delivering next block. I don't know. The finish is up to you. They don't tell you how to finish it. They don't. I mean, people will tell you how to finish it. Like there's a space here because I'm pulling around center, and I may put some screws just here in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's up to me when I'm actually finishing the finishing of the unit. As far as powering it, Dayton sells a dedicated subwoofer amplifier for like $400 with, you know, all the features you'd find on a normal crossover, the gain, the frequency, the phase, and then it just sits in your rack or equipment or wherever the hell you are. You control your subwoofer. So this, under 3, it was under 300. If you get the amp, if you get a big amp, because it is a 15-inch, then you're looking at another 300 plus. So is it gonna be competing with a $600 subwoofer? Find out in the full review, which will come after this. But right now it's finished and I'm gonna go shove it in my bedroom and put my computer on top of it. Thank you for watching. Be well, John Spartan.